to have a date from somebody that you've met
Well,
online.
I can tell you my first experience, actually.
Yeah.
I was anti-online dating. It was my work colleagues. I was like, Serena, you need to get online. You need to get online. And I was like, I'm too good for that. I'm not going online. Please. Anyway, I went online. I did it, right?
Yeah.
And I got catfished. So off
my days.
straight away. I was naive, but this naive
Was
little
he
online.
looking like a troll?
No, so it was. He basically put up pictures and posted simian panda.
No way.
I'm not joking.
not.
I'm not kidding, yeah. But I didn't know who simian panda was. This was many years ago.
Right.
No idea who he was.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, he's a bit of me. And I was showing him my work colleagues, actually.
No
you know,
way.
And I think they looked at me like, Serena, are you sure? But no one actually said anything, right? But looking back, they were giving me a bit of a...
Yeah, this is real.
Exactly, right?
God.
Anyway, so I was talking to him
Right.
on the, I don't know if we ever got to the WhatsApp stage or whatever, but I was talking to him, and then we were arranging to meet up.
Okay.
And then when I heard his voice, I was like, it's not really adding up.
It's not giving man.
Yeah, he didn't have.
You don't sound like you should.
No bass.
Look how you said it.
No bass in his voice whatsoever.
No
There
bass.
was no bass. There was no bass. Right?
So what that photo looked like, it should have bass.
Bit like, you know what simian panda looks like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, so I totally got catfished.
So you met up with him?
No, I didn't. Thank God I didn't. And you know what? You saying that makes my heart just go... I met up with him. God knows what he was capable of doing or what his intentions were. But anyway, it turns out he says, I'm really, really sorry. I caught him out. I completely done him because what I did was I got the pictures from his profile and I put it on Google, and then all this simian panda stuff came up. And I was like, oh, this guy's actually a person, but not the person I'm talking to.
Yeah.
He's a personality and he's some type of influencer.
Right.
In the fitness industry. And I was like, oh no. But obviously I had an instinct that something wasn't right. That's why I went to search. And so there are ways to kind of
your
verify
instincts were really telling you that something is not...
It's not adding up.
Right.
Yeah. And then I outed him. And then he was like, I'm really sorry because I'm a student and I was just doing some research.
She's lying.
I'm not joking. No, this is not for our let's not do that. Let's not do that.
So
Are you disappointed?
I was disappointed, but it helped me wise up, you know.
And you got back on the saddle.
I did.
Back on the net.
I did.
Kept it moving. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So there is this notion that internet dating is about hookups predominantly, yeah? People just go on there for the sexual relations. Would you agree?
Yeah.
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 Especially, what's the first one that came out? The first one that was really popular?
Slip my mind. Tinder, you know.
Tinder. That's it.
Tinder.
Yes,
Tinder.
Yeah. That's actually just known just to be a hookup app.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think you've got to know the culture of the apps.
Right.
Before you go on them. Like, apps, different apps.
I agree. Yeah.
So do you really think that they've all got a different personality per se, like a culture?
Yeah,
really,
absolutely.
But I mean, like, can some be more discreet? Perhaps they're all about hookups, and maybe there's a couple that are just kind of dressed up
individuals. You mean individuals?
Yeah, like let's say Hinge is all dressed up nice and looks fantastic, but really, the majority of them are just there to.
Yeah, you can figure that out. I think that's offline as well. Do you think? Do you think people offline are actually more serious about relationships?
I mean, this is the thing.
Online?
I mean, they're all the same. Quite frankly.
Right, so I think you've got to have the win there,
must be
regardless.
Yeah,
you do.
Okay. So what would you say your expectations are when you go online dating? Do you feel like it's a space where you can potentially meet your partner, your loved one, the one that you have always dreamed of and in?
I don't think no one should rule it out. You can meet anybody anywhere.
That's my intention, to be honest. I'm not.
So you go on there to find a husband?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Why not? Yeah.
Okay. And how do you do that? How do you do that?
Like,
what do you put on your profile? Like, what are we looking at?
Yeah, and what are you swiping right for?
Yeah. What is going on in your process when you're actually meeting these guys?
So, in terms of the profile pics I've put up, I don't wear anything too revealing. It's not really my style anyway, but I wouldn't go for anything too overly sexualized.
Yeah.
I kind of have a nice range of different photos. In terms of what I'm writing on my profile, I just want to put my qualities. I'm kind, I'm loving, etc. I have downplayed my job title. So I just put I'm in finance. I don't say that I am a founder or a business owner or anything like that. I don't want to give boss lady. Or that could be, I don't know. Maybe that's not the right thing to do, but I just don't want it to be something that puts people off.
Do you think that would though? Because remember, we're looking for a husband.
Potentially.
So husband wouldn't be intimidated.
But I don't know. I think there's this social media perception of what a boss woman is like.
Yes.
So I feel like I don't want to be prejudged. Before.
So less is more.
Less is more.
Less is more.
I feel like you shouldn't give everything away on these apps anyway. I think there should be some intrigue.
Yeah, you like to have someone. I would have suspected. You
obviously don't conceal that you're a criminal, but
well, where did that come from?
Well, don't do that. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so obviously preparing yourself to go online, you've got to get, the right kind of bio. You've got to make sure that your images don't look too crazy.
Yeah.
And you're not sharing too much information.
I agree. Yeah.
Or explicitly writing that you want a long-term relationship on
there.
And
that's one of the, when you set up a profile, it does ask you what are your intentions. So that would be quite openly displayed. Are you looking for something long-term, not something casual? You can sort of like clarify what you're looking for.
Right. So, if you were scrolling, 1 hour, how many do you think that you could go through?
I don't just numbers.
Numbers. 100, 200.
That was a long time to swipe.
Yeah.
Okay, 20 minutes then. How many do you think you can go through?
What before seeing someone that I actually like?
Yeah.
I could go a whole 20 minutes and not seeing one that's worth a...
And you just swipe going and going.
No, I'll just stop and just leave it another time. But
I'm
not going to keep going and keep going and tiring at my lovely poor fingers.
For sure. That's what they said. Yeah, exactly. Our viewers did say that. Okay.
Yeah, so if anyone has got too much, like loads of pictures of like topless pictures,
right?
And showing their body, and that seems to be the only thing they've got going for them. All these tattoos, and I'm not really into that, so I'm not really swiping for that person. We're definitely swiping left next.
Yeah, because it does sound a bit immature, doesn't it?
It is immature. And second of all, guys, please stop putting pictures of you and your mates. It's giving not ready.
That sounds bizarre.
To let go of your boys. It's got nothing to do with your boys. So why have you got a picture of your boys?
But then is it right for us to judge? Because maybe that person is like their bestie and they come as a package deal.
That's the problem. So
maybe that was the only good photo of them.
Yeah, maybe they're not really
selfish.
Like they're not really, used to taking pictures, that kind of vibe.
I'm not. I do agree. I know. I do agree. They need to have standalone photos.
No, standalone photos. Stop putting your mates or your ex-girlfriend. I'm sure.
Excuse me?
No, I'm sure some of these guys have got some like woman in the picture. I don't know what that's all about.
It could be their sister.
Well, why?
But
why
you're right.
Yes,
right.
Anyway,
actually makes sense.
Yeah, that would get my attention.
Okay, cool. So essentially, what you're saying is, online, there's got to be something that really kind of, stands out for you to now start looking at their profile. Obviously, you've got to also keep your information quite limited, and maybe that can also attract the right person.
Yeah,
but so you've got to be quite picky with everything.
When you've still got to sell yourself.
Yeah, because I've always heard that you just go through it like the numbers. Just meet up and meet up and meet up, and not actually be that selective, because then you might be missing out or whatever. But now you're expressing that you actually have to be a bit more picky. So is that because of your age? Because we are over 35. So is it? And the discussion is about over 35 women dating online. So is it that you're more picky now than what you might have been 10 years ago?
Actually, I think I've always been picky. Okay. But obviously, naturally, as you get to know more and more about your do's and don'ts or what you do and don't like, you're going to get even more pickier. But I've always been picky.
Yeah.
And I've literally gone on online date, and it's literally... It's got to the end. It literally says we can't shave anymore.
Are you serious?
And I haven't swiped for anyone yet. Like,